I'm very excited about today's video because I am a huge New Year's person. I love a fresh start. I love setting resolutions. I love looking back and reflecting on the year prior, being proud of myself, and then using that as momentum to push myself even further in the new year. I just love a New Year's. So for today's video, we are going to do a 2025 reflection on my goals from this year, and then we're also going to look at how my journaling ecosystem went for 2025. And then we will do some 2026 goal setting and 2026 Hobonichi week setup, and then ending on looking at my whole journaling ecosystem plan for 2026. Very exciting stuff that we're going to be going over today. So if you want to set up all of your journaling stuff with me for the new year, while you watch this video, that'd be a blast. And I love when I'm able to see your guys' journals. I love being tagged in people's TikToks. I love being tagged in people's Instagram stories of their journal setups. So make sure you follow me in both those places and tag me in all your stuff. I try to get back to everybody because I think it's so fun to have a little community and talk to people. Okay, let's get started with the 2025 reflection. Okay, so this past year, my journaling ecosystem was pretty much these four. It kind of rotated between the four at points, but currently it's been this A6 notebook from Hobonichi for my morning pages, and then a Hobonichi Weeks for my planner, a Hobonichi Cousin, which was kind of a manifestation journal and an art journal, which I am not going to be in a Cousin again this year. And I kind of gave up on this in like September-ish, pretty much just because I got a full-time job and it was kind of a lot of space, like a lot of page space. And so I went into the A6 original for that type of journal this year. We'll talk more on that later. And then this is my Paper Republic journal. I sometimes use it for morning pages. All the time I use it for junk journaling. And there's a commonplace notebook in here too, which I sometimes use. I kind of go back and forth for that. But that was my 2025 journaling ecosystem. This is my Hobonichi Cousin, and this is where I put all of my 2025 goals for the year. So we're gonna do a little short flip through of it. So I did a want to make page, which I didn't visit enough in my Cousin. And so I use my weeks every single day. So I think all of my lists like this are going to go in my weeks for 2026, which we will do together today. And I also had a dopamine menu. I have this like functional list, which I just like have an obsession with things in my home and life being functional. Like I want everything to be in the place that makes the most sense. And I want to have the furniture that is the most functional and on and on and on and on. And so that's why that's there. And I had one of my goals this year was to edit and upload one YouTube video a month. And I did that, but I stopped updating this journal, as I said before. And so I'm not going to do something like that again this year, but I do have a YouTube related goal, but we're not going to be documenting it this way. And then I was doing picture a day in the monthly spreads, which still a little undecided on how I'm going to do the monthly spreads for 2026, but we'll. And then for the weekly spreads in here, I was doing doodle a day for a while, and then it ended up turning into kind of like art piece a week because I was having a hard time keeping up with the dailies. And so that's what that looks like. And then this is the goal pages. Goal number 1 was start a remote content creator position, which I'm very proud to say I did that. That was like my biggest number 1 goal. Like I wanted to do that more than I wanted to do anything else. Post 1 YouTube video a month. I did that. Run a marathon and don't get kidney stones. I tried to run a marathon before and I ended up getting kidney stones, so I couldn't do it because I was in the hospital. And so I did not do that one this year. And I didn't get into the Chicago Marathon again for 2026, but I think I'm going to be doing a charity for Chicago for 2026 now that I have a job that pays me good enough for me to not be super nervous about that. Rebrand my business. Did not do that one, but that is kind of like, it's changed. Pay off credit cards. We are so close to being done. That is like a huge goal. And then I wanted to make something, read something, learn something every month. Obviously I fell off with that, but that was a fun goal. Like I probably did make something most months. I did read something every single month. Learn something was a harder one to keep up with, but I love doing that. Bonus goals were create and sell digital products. Didn't do that. New house. Didn't do that, but we tried really, really hard. And vacation. I took a lot of mini trips, but yeah. So those were my goals for 2025. And while we're here, I'll show you some of my pages from this journal before we go into setting up my 2026 weeks. So this was my manifestation journal. So I really wanted it to be like I was a character and I was already the character that I wanted to be in my life. Like who I wanted to become is who I was writing about in this journal. Now let's go to some of my favorite pages. This was one of my favorite ones because I made a little comic strip and I used to love making comic strips as a kid. And so it was like fun to revisit that. So this journal specifically felt really fun to revisit because it was just a year of a lot. It was a year of a lot of growth for me. A lot of things happened to a lot of my friends. Felt like a crazy year. I don't know. Felt like one of the biggest growth years of my life in like every aspect. And so it's fun to like look back, and like a lot of these times I felt so hopeless. I felt like nothing was going to work out. I was trying so hard, and it felt like it was for nothing. At the same time as I was having those thoughts, I knew it was going to work out if I just kept trying. And I feel like you could see that theme throughout those pages. It's really cool to like see the pages where like it happened and like I got the job, or we ended up not getting the house, even though that's like not a fun thing, but like we made it through it, even though we still don't have a house. But that's besides the point. That's going to be a 2026 thing that happens. We can't have too much big movement in one year, right? Right. So let's get into setting up my 2026 weeks and talking about some of my 2026 goals. This green color was my 2025 weeks, and then we are doing this yellow color for 2026. I kind of rotate in between covers for them. So I have this cover that I love a lot. It just feels so fun, and I feel like it's going to go with any Hobonichi Weeks colors that I get throughout the years. And so I'm really glad I got this one last year. And then this is the other one that I got in the 2026 Hobonichi launch. It is the Beautiful People cover for the weeks. And it looks sick, right? But I feel like I gravitate towards summer colors in winter and winter colors in summer, because blue right now to me just feels like seasonal depression. And so we're going to save this one for a few months from now. But I love switching out my week's covers because it feels like I just get a brand new planner every time I put a different cover on it, which is fun. First page in the new 2026 weeks is done. It is the 2026 resolutions, bucket list, and growth goals. And I left a little bit of space under the bucket list because I'm sure I'm going to want to add something to it as I go. And then I think I'm going to leave the page right next to it blank as well, because I might do something with like tracking those goals or like a vision board or something. I don't know. Undecided, but I'm going to skip this page for now. And now we're going to set up some lists. I love doing some lists in the back pages for Hobonichi Weeks. So I think we're going to do a craft list, wish list, bought list, and then I'm going to have a house list because hopefully we sell our house this year and there's just some things that we need to do to make it better to sell. And then I'm going to have a video ideas list and my media tracker I think I'm going to put in my weeks. So let's set some of that stuff up, I guess. So that is it for all of the like lists that we have going on in the back pages. We have the 2026 resolutions, the craft list, the house prep list, the wish list, bought list, video ideas. And next we are going to be doing the media tracker, which this kind of is an unpopular opinion, but I don't really like when my weeks is chunkier. Like I know people like to have a chunky journal, but I don't love when a weeks is a chunky journal. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm not the type to really get super creative and decorate my weeks that much. Like I'm going to decorate the front pages later on, but for like my spreads for weekly, monthly, and the back pages, they're not overly creative and colorful and whatever. And so that's partially because this is just supposed to be functional for me, but also for the chunkiness, I kind of don't want to use the printed out stickers that I've used in the past for media tracking. But I don't know. Like, do I just want to do the date and the name and like the author for books and then like the date and the name of the movie for movies? Or do I want to have a printout of the cover? It's kind of a difficult decision. I don't know. I think I will print out the photos since I have the mega. We got a lot of pages to take up. But it's going to look kind of boring right now for me to show you me doing it. So I'm just going to do it off screen. I'm sorry. I'll show you in a second. But I'm going to skip a few pages to leave room for my video ideas list because I'm hoping that I'm going to use it a lot this year. And then I think I'm going to put the books tracker first and the movie tracker second, mostly because I'm probably going to watch more movies than I will read books. And I read, I think, somewhere around like 20, probably a little under 20 books this year. And so I guess let's leave 4 front to back pages, so 8 pages total, just for some wiggle room, because I feel like that's the biggest worry people have with the Hobonichi weeks and putting things in the back pages is like, what if I run out of room in between the sections that I have? And so I'm just going to leave myself a little bit of extra room, and then we'll put the movie tracker or movie and TV shows tracker next. And we're going to leave a lot of pages for that, not because I think I'm going to watch that many movies, but because the only other thing I plan on putting in the back pages are like a pen tester, pen/marker/washi tape, so I can like know which ones I have. And then if I like want to do something else in between those pages, so be it. I can do that whenever. So I'm going to do that right now, and then I'll show you. So the book tracking looks a little boring right now because it literally just has the title, but this is what my 2025 reading tracker looked like, and it'll look a little different for this year, but this was just me testing out to see if I wanted to do it in the weeks. But I think I'm going to use a different printer this time around. We will see. Because this one, the stickers are just a little thick. So I want to use a thinner sticker paper. Now we're going to go back to the beginning of the weeks, and we're going to talk about what I'm doing in some of those pages. So this is the year at a glance page from 2025. And at first I think I was going to use it for like financial tracking, like income when I got paid, because I was freelance. So it was very like all over the place. Didn't do it one single time. And so at the end of the year, I started thinking about what I wanted to do for 2026 on this page. And I have decided on doing a step tracker, but only for walking pad steps. So I walk on my walking pad most work days because I work from home, and the goal is to get 10,000 steps just on the walking pad every workday. And so I feel like this is a great place to track that. And so that's what we're going to be doing again in 2026. Or not again, but we're going to continue that on into 2026. As you can see, it says walking pad steps, which now I suppose I can officially write that on this page since it is a concrete decision. So let's do that. There she is in all of her glory. So now for the monthly spreads, I've had so many different ideas on what I wanted to do here. So I've thought about photo a day, doodle a day, best thing that happened that day, kind of like a content calendar. What did I wear that day? I've had many different ideas. And so I think what makes the most sense for me to do is using it as sort of like a content calendar / keeping track of my yearly goals. So as we said earlier, some of my 2026 goals are posting a very consistent YouTube schedule, so twice a month. So I think I want to kind of like have a bigger plan for those goals on these pages. And so like, let's say I wanted to post a YouTube video every Wednesday. So January 7th, I would highlight that and say posting YouTube video this day, and maybe have the title or something. And then on the days leading up to that, I would have like smaller deadlines. So film video this day, write script this day, edit this day, and so on and so forth, so I can kind of have a clearer plan for hitting those goals. And then down here at the bottom, I think I would just like write the goal and then cross it off when I finish it. So like YouTube video number 1, YouTube video number 2, cross them off when they're posted, and then 1 stop motion or mixed media video a month, and then I would cross that off once I did it, just so I can like visually see those bigger goals. I think that's the plan for right now, at least. Now going back to the back pages, this is going to be my 2026 playlist of sorts. And so every week, I think I'll have to do like 1 to 2 songs a week, mostly 2 songs a week, and occasionally 1. And then at the end of the year, I will have this big long playlist. I tried to do that in my cousin this past year, and I just felt like doing stuff like that. And my cousin was quite difficult because I didn't always have it with me, but my weeks I always have with me in my bag. So I think it'll be easier to keep up with here. And then for this page, I think I'm going to be doing no food delivery again, which I was really good with for like the first half of last year. And then I got a full-time job and didn't pull back on freelance. And so it was hard to keep up with eating and like feeding myself. So we're going to try that again this year. Or maybe that will be my running every day checklist. I don't know. Maybe I will do running every day on that page, because I think that's my only goal that I had that's like an everyday thing. So I guess we will do that. We'll do that instead of the food delivery. But food delivery is a good idea. No food delivery. So keep that in mind if you're thinking about what to do there. Now I think it's time to do our first weekly spread for 2026. That's crazy. Okay, let's do it. So for the most part, my weekly spreads are looking the same as 2025's weekly spreads were. We have anything with the time commitment on the right page in the left-hand column, and then we have some habits over on the right side of the right page. And then underneath that, we have our chores. Underneath that, we have like an ongoing to-do list where every day of the week I will pull from that list and put it in the days box. The one minor change I made was some of the daily habits are now going to be put on this week or this monthly tracker from Case Study. And I did that because I want to be able to see this constant reminder to do these things. So some of the things that are going to be on that are going to be, it's pretty much all going to be health related. So 10,000 steps a day, taking my vitamins, drinking 2 of my water bottles. I don't have my water bottle right by me, so I don't know how much water's in it, but it's a large water bottle, 2 of those. And then I think probably going on a walk first thing in the morning so I get sunlight into my eyeballs first thing in the morning. It's all health related stuff just because I've been feeling crappy in general. So trying to fix that, trying to fix the health. And so that is why I'm thinking, and probably a protein shake on here too, so I can get more protein. Maybe I'll set a protein goal. Who knows? But that's why I'm trying that out. We'll see if it works. If it doesn't, I'll go back to putting them in my weeks. It's not that big of a deal. So this is all tentative. I think my 2026 journal ecosystem is going to be obviously Hobonichi Weeks for planning. And then I moved into this A5 Hobonichi notebook for my morning pages and for commonplace note taking. And then this I think is going to be my anything goes journal. So this was pretty much what my cousin was last year, and it's going to be like a manifestation journal, an art journal, anything goes. You know what I mean? And I really love this cover. I think it's fucking sick, you know? And then habit tracking is going to be done in my case study thing. And then junk journaling is going to be done in my Paper Republic again. And I also think I want to do an insert in my Paper Republic where I kind of scrapbook of sorts the tags from all of the new items of clothing that I've bought this year, because I want to do like a lower buy year. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. But yeah, that's it for my 2026 journaling ecosystem and 2026 Hobonichi Weeks plan. I hope you all have the most amazing 2026 and all of your dreams come true, all your resolutions are met, and that you are happy and feel fulfilled in every aspect of your life. If you like this video, make sure that you subscribe, hit the bell notification so you're notified every time I post, like the video, follow me on other social media platforms, because the ultimate goal here is for me to one day be famous enough from stationery to be on Dancing with the Stars. And I'm not afraid to admit that. That is all. Those are all very serious statements, so make sure that you do those things. Okay, bye.